not a teacher or a nurse, but I often play one on TV. See, in the acting world, producers and writers like to cast women of color as nurturers, teachers and nurses being the most popular forms. Like a modern-day Aunt Jemima, we're there to instruct and caretake. This role seems to have permeated my life in the real world as well. White people seem to gravitate to me for caretaking, instruction, and nurturing, regardless of the relationship between us. I've begun to really look at all the spaces and times where I've been forced into that role. I don't have an issue with it at work. It's a gig, a well-paying, sometimes high-profile gig that keeps me in the union and in health insurance for my family. But privately, it feels as if the world, the white world, still expects women of color in general, and me in particular, to instruct or caretake, no matter where or when. Like the time I'm sitting in Red Lobster in Hickory, North Carolina with my husband Brad and our 2-year-old son Ezra. We are here visiting my husband's family because my father-in-law Ted has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. I am truly weary, not only from caring for my 2-year-old while performing some emotional heavy lifting for my husband, but also from deflecting the racist microaggressions of my husband's mother and 2 sisters. I am wife weary, mother weary, race weary, weary. And I refuse to cook in my mother-in-law's house for fear she'll attack the kitchen with air freshener again. Apparently, the smells of flavor are offensive. All of these circumstances bring us to be sitting in the noisy back room of the Red Lobster, where I am acutely aware of being the only brown face in the place. Not even the busboys or barbacks are people of color. I can feel everyone keeping me in their peripheral vision. No matter, my off-duty sign is lit. I'm not carrying the burden of race for anyone. I reach across the table and hand Ezra a Cheddar Bay biscuit and look at my husband. He's wiped out too. But we are finding respite in this crustacean chain restaurant. And that's when I notice him. A white man that looks to be almost a century old, staring at me. I look around. Yep, he's staring at me. I offer a wan smile and his blue eyes dance with intrigue. I tuck back into my salad, only to see him teetering toward our table. What is he doing? Hello, he says, towering over my child. Is he yours? He waves his wrinkled hand over Ezra's head and positions himself next to Ezra. I am stunned. What could he possibly want? Brad instinctively puts his arm around Ezra in his high chair. Excuse me? Brad says in his soft southern drawl. He is ever the southern gentleman who will never raise his voice in public as he politely tells you to go F yourself. Is this child yours? Yes, he is our son, Brad says. Oh, good, the man says as he pulls the chair out beside Ezra. I look over Ezra's head at this man's family, who are silently observing this intrusion. Come and get your old white man, I'm saying telepathically to the 40-something-year-old son. Come and get him. Come and get him now. But it doesn't work. The son turns his attention back to his surf and turf without giving me another glance. Here is the height of white entitlement. Believing it's okay to come and sit uninvited at my table and demand that I stop nurturing my family and teach you something. It reminds me of the time that this white homeschool mom says that the hate in the young adult novel, The Hate You Give, is fake. I tell her the hate is not fake, that it's all too real. When she puts her chin in her hands and elbows on the table and in her schoolgirl stance says, "Teach me," I say, no. I turn away and shut her down. No, I will not teach you, I tell the homeschool mom. So, being an interracial couple, I'd like you to answer something for me, the old man says. My eyes shoot daggers into this man. Answer what? Can't I just eat? My nurse, She's a colored woman like yourself, he continues, spittle falling from his lips. And she says that when the woman is older in a mixed couple, the child always ends up being a male. Are you older than him? He tosses his head in Brad's direction. It has me thinking, is this my job? Is it the burden or responsibility for me and other people of color to teach white people? Haven't we done enough? I beg your pardon, I say. I am seething. I extend my arms across the table in Ezra's direction, and he reaches for me. My nurse is from the Caribbean, and she says that if you're older than the male, the offspring will be male. I'm just wanting to test the theory. What the Look, I'm not a nurse or a teacher. I just play one on TV. But I'm about to teach this old man so hard, he's going to need a nurse. I look at this man's family again. I can tell they're listening to this exchange. But since I haven't stabbed great-grandpa with a steak knife, they assume he's safe and make no attempt to intervene. Sir, I tensely let slip through my teeth. I assure you that your nurse's theory is just that, a theory, or some old wives' tale from whatever Caribbean island she's from. Oh, no. She told me it's the truth. She's seen it happen time and time again, so I want to know if you're older than the father. I don't remember what Brad said to get him to leave. I was beyond words, and I just wanted the racist, ignorant fool away from my son. I do remember him teetering back to his table and my ears becoming hot. Why did this man think it was just okay to interrupt our meal, to take a seat at our table, to interrogate me and expect instruction? I realize that being Black means a lot of different things. It's making the choice to not be a nurturing mammy, to embrace Betty Saar's machine gun-toting Aunt Jemima archetype. It's the declaration that I'll nurture you on my time, in my way, if I want to. Being Black is understanding that sometimes, a lot of times, all the time, I don't need to talk about my Blackness. That Black people don't sit behind closed doors talking about our Blackness. There are other topics, and by virtue of the fact that we are talking, it's Black talking. Being Black is so much more than any preconceived notion that I cannot define what it means, because it just is. It's the sun and the moon and the stars. It's loving my white husband. It's driving my car. It's loving James Taylor and Lyle Lovett and not responding to you when you ignorantly say, "What are you doing listening to that?" It's not denying any part of me that wants to do anything, go anywhere, be anywhere. It's not having to teach you about being Black because you've dug your head in the sand for 40 plus years. Recently, my new favorite line is, "I'm auditioning to be a nurse because I'm a Black woman." Everyone laughs, and then they think about it. Being Black is not one thing, it's everything. And sometimes, nothing at all. Nothing as in, it's a cool breeze. It's sunlight on the leaves and water. It's everything and nothing at all. Get it? You can't have it.